Hello everyone, my name is Yunita Devika Damayanti, and here I want to presenting about my article entitled The Study of Students' English as a Foreign Language Ability in Secondary Education Towards Their English Learning in Higher Education. Introduction is background of the study. The first one is learning at university is very different from learning English in secondary school. And the ideal condition for choosing a major, students have to be mastering in basic English skill since they were in secondary school. And English is also very important for the undergraduate students in university, so they can take a reference from international journal or all of the abroad researchers. And how the Pekalongan University prepare English proficiency test for the new undergraduate students. In Unikal, the new undergraduate students will take a TOEFL test before they are going to the learning process in higher education. This is the statements of the problem of this study. The first one is about the background of students' English as a foreign language ability in their secondary education. And the second one is how about the sustainability of learning outcomes and competency in college for the students based on their English ability in secondary education? And this is the objective of the study. The first one is to collect data on the students' proficiency in English as a foreign language when they are in secondary school. And the second one is to find out how the English ability background, campus environment, and routine activities can support students' English competence. Study can give significances, for example, for pedagogically, practically, and theoretically. And for this study, as a researcher, I took 3 previous studies. The first one is from Wikipuri Petra, the impact of choosing a major on students learning in public high school 1 Batu Sanggar, and the second one is from Sikra Husna, who entitled The Impact of Students' Educational Background Toward Their Ability to Speak in English, and the last one is a study from Rena Islamiati about the role of English environment in developing students' English language skills. The next one, this is a theoretical review. The first one is about the undergraduate students from Siswoyo. Explain that undergraduate students is students are considered to have a high level of intellect and intelligent in thinking and planning in action. And the second one is from Fuad Ihsan about secondary education. That is, secondary education is a level of education that prepares students to become members of society who can establish reciprocal or feedback relationship with the social, cultural, and natural environment, and can develop further abilities in the world of work or education. And the third one is this theory about English as a foreign language. This is from Tashirawati, who explained that English as a foreign language is the language that is used by the people whose first language is not English, for example, in Indonesia. And the last one is theory about learning style from Supriyono. Learning style is a conceptual framework that provides a systematic procedure for organizing learning experience to achieve a learning objective. And this is also the theoretical framework. And this is the research method for this study. The first one is questionnaire. As a researcher, I collect the data collection by using a questionnaire technique, and the second one is about convenience sampling. The convenience sampling, there are 6 students who can be a sample in this research, and the third one is interview. As a researcher, I did an interview for the respondents to collect the data, and the last one is documentation. Okay, we're going to the next one. This is research findings. This is the research finding about the score categories at students' report card. We can see in this chart. And the next one is the interest of the students in choosing English as their major in higher education. All of the English education students had an interest for English language. And this is the basic skills that the researcher got from the students of English education. The first one is listening skill, and this is the speaking skills, this is the reading skills, and this is the writing skill. We can see that all of the basic skill, majority of the students had a good ability in basic English skill. And this is the sampling about the respondent. I use a convenience sampling, and there are 6 respondents that have been chosen as a sampling or respondent in this research. There is a FV, MR, AF, AD, AG, and NA. FV and MR is the student who get a highest score from their report card, specifically in English subject, and AF and AD is the student who have an intermediate English level, and the last one is AG and NA is the 2 students who get a low score in English subject when they were in secondary education. Okay, we're going to the next one. This is the results of the interview. For the student who had an excellent English ability when they were in secondary school, that is of FV and MR, can immediately follow the learning and understand the English material well. They also got A grades in English subjects such as reading, writing, listening, and speaking easily. And the next one is for the student who have an intermediate level in English. There is AF and AD. They can also follow the learning process in college quite well, but they still found some difficulties in a few materials or lecture teaching method. And the last one is the data from the student who not have a good English background when they were in secondary education. There is AG and NI who don't understand English translation when the lecturers or students in the classroom communicate in English, especially when they were as a new students in the first year's college. English education students have English grades that exceed the passing standard with no D or very poor on their report card. Most of them also have A and B categories, which indicate excellent and good. From the research finding, we can discuss that students who have the highest score in secondary education, FF and MR with scores 94, and can understand basic English skills well, while in college are more adaptable and follow learning well. Students who have quite good intermediate level can also adapt quickly to the learning environment using English, although they still find difficulties when the lecturer explains the material too quickly and when receiving materials that they have never learned in secondary school. And for the students who didn't have good English at secondary school, often do not understood listening and speaking when interacting in classroom that use English, especially in online class. And the last one is, but all the respondents experience an improvement in their English language skill, while in college, the most influential factors were the environment, supportive friends, teaching methods from lecturers, and their interest in learning English. Okay, the last one is conclusion. English education students have various English language skills in high school because they come from different majors in high school or taking English course. Students who have excellent in English background from secondary school get easily in learning English at higher education, and students who have quite good English at secondary school, they are able to follow the learning process at higher education but still found some difficulties. And the students who didn't have good English ability at secondary school get many problems and difficulties in learning English at higher education, especially in the first semester. But they have an external factors that makes them stay and continue their learning in English education, such as the environment factors, friends, lecturer, and their sense of interest in English subject. Okay, that's all of my presentation. See you next time.